Good evening everyone, and welcome to another Queensland Severe Weather Chasers Network Tropical Cyclone Update. Tonight, the 14th of March 2018, my name is Nathan Donnelly, and tonight we're doing an update on Tropical Cyclone Linda. Okay, first having a look at the forecast track map for Tropical Cyclone Linda, and the first thing we can see is that it has already become an ex-Tropical Cyclone Linda. So at 9 o'clock this morning, March the 14th, it was a low pressure system. The forecast map for this low pressure system is that it will head in a west to southwest or west to west southwest motion, and then it will then go more to a southerly direction, and by 9 p.m. tonight it should be off the coastline from about Yeppoon, and then it will continue heading in a southerly direction or southwesterly direction, and by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning should be off the coastline there of Hervey Bay. And then by 9 p.m. tomorrow night it heads in a southeasterly direction and is off the coastline between Brisbane and Teawatton, and then it adopts this southeasterly direction out towards the graveyard site for cyclones. So that's where the Bureau of Meteorology are saying that this system is going to go over the next 48 hours. Okay, looking now at the expected rainfall from this system over the next couple of days, and well, as we can expect, or as we would expect, only between 1 to 5 millimeters there, anywhere from about Gympie down to the New South Wales northeast corner, as you can see there on the map. That's the rainfall for today. If we go into now Thursday, we see that rainfall is now pretty much moving off the coastline. Now just some really isolated light showers anywhere between Bundaberg and Brisbane. If we look now through to Friday, and we can see that there's some heavier rainfall off the coastline there near Gympie, with falls of about 25 millimeters happening in the centre, but it is all offshore. None of that is expected to come onshore from this system. Still just expecting between 1 to 5 millimeters of rainfall in that area between Bundaberg down to about Brisbane. On Saturday, and we can see that most of that rainfall has now pretty much gone from the southeast corner. There are just those really light isolated showers from about Gympie down to Yambara in New South Wales. But the big thing we can see is for those people up in the tropics that they are expecting to get some more heavy showers happening anywhere from about Ingham up to around the Cooktown area. So that's probably not the best of news for those guys after that heavy rain that they've had over the past few days. But that's what's going to be happening for those guys. If we now look at the accumulated rainfall, so this is looking at what we're expecting in total for the next 4 days. So this is to the 17th of March, and well, as you can see, about 10 millimeters is the total for the southeast corner of the state. Then if we look from the 18th through to the 21st, we can see that again it's still around that 1 to 10 millimeter mark expected for rainfall for the southeast coast. So really this system not giving us much rainfall whatsoever. Now if we have a look at the infrared satellite imagery for this system, and we can see, well, there's quite a bit of a mess happening with ex-tropical cyclone Linda. We can see that there is some red happening sort of around the center of this system, indicating some pretty cold type air up in this area. So where it is the reddest, that's indicating quite cool air and very high topped thunderstorms. Now these storms then come out and they into a bit of a feeder band there from the northwest, and that's all swirling into this system. So whilst it's still, it is classed as an ex-tropical cyclone, there is still some quite severe thunderstorms happening within the system itself. But of course that is all out at sea, and Queensland mainland not expected to see much of that action whatsoever. We have a look now at the relative humidity for this system, and well, we can see that the blue area is where the system is at the moment. It does have a feeder coming in from the north there of some really moist air and humid air, but all around this system you can see pink, which means very dry air. So this system is really being inhibited by this pink air, which is probably what is attributed to its quick de-intensification into an ex-tropical cyclone. If we look through to tomorrow morning, and we can see that as we do that, the system continues to be just smothered by all this relative dry air around it. So not good news for the system whatsoever. So now if we have a look at the winds from this system, this is according to the European model, and as we can see, there's not very much wind around according to this map at the moment, but what we can see is that we've got some deep convective action happening in just to the south of the system, and we've also got just a little bit of action happening here around the center of the system. If we now look into tomorrow, so wait for it to load. Looking at Thursday at 8 AM, and we can see that the system continues down a southerly track, getting closer to the Queensland coastline, but not actually impacting the Queensland coastline at the moment. So still quite a lot of deep convective action happening to its southwest, and a lot of it happening in this feeder band as well from the system out to its southeast. Now if we look through to tomorrow evening, and we can see that the system still travels southerly, but then by tomorrow afternoon the system has started to slowly move to the southeast away from the Queensland coastline. So that's according to the European model. Now having a look at the GFS models and the winds associated with this system at 5 PM this afternoon, we can see that there is some winds here to its southwest, and pretty much its western right through to its southern quadrant of this system has got these stronger winds associated with it. If we now look through to tomorrow morning, and we'll go back one, at 5 AM tomorrow morning, we can see that the system is still quite close to the Queensland coast, and we've got these winds coming up here along the coastline causing a lot of rough surf, big waves, big swells. So yeah, if you're not a confident surfboarder or a confident swimmer, stay out of the waters. Even if you are confident in any of those things, please do stay out of the water, because it is not going to be very safe for people to be in there. Now if we look through to tomorrow evening at 5 PM, we can see that the system becomes a little bit elongated. We've still got these strong winds here to its west or southwestern quadrant, and some winds here to its eastern quadrant as well. but the system becoming very wishy-washy and elongated at this stage. Friday morning, and we see the system at 5 a.m. still pretty close, so it's not going too far away according to the GFS. So it's not moving quickly at all. It looks like it could be hanging around for the weekend. If we look now through Friday evening at 5 p.m. and we can see it gets even closer to the coast. Not as a cyclone, but just as a low pressure system. There will still be some strong winds, about 23 knot winds on the coastline here, anywhere between just below Bundaberg right through to about Brisbane. And some strong winds also around on its southern right through to its western quadrant. Interesting to see what happens Saturday morning at 5 o'clock, and let's go back. The GFS saying that this system is going to cross the coastline as a very weak low pressure system. So there could be some showery type activities according to GFS if this scenario comes about. Saturday evening at 5, and we see that the system has well and truly crossed the coast at this stage, again as a very weak low pressure system, and it's crossed here somewhere between the Sunshine Coast and Bundaberg. Well folks, that is all the time that we've got for tonight on this system. This will be our last tropical cyclone update for the system, as now it's become an ex-tropical cyclone. So thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support our work, please make sure you do show your appreciation by donating to us through our PayPal link. So thank you and good night, and we'll see you the next time we have a tropical cyclone in the Coral Sea.